Many would say we've had a difficult time of it with tornadoes, freak snowstorms, and other weather events. Well, spring is around the corner, believe it or not, and along with that will come the 5th Annual Catholic Women's Conference, which is offering a chance to reflect and to laugh. Jesuit Father Jim Martin will be speaking, and part of his focus is on joy and laughter in the spiritual life. Reporter Peggy Weber met up with Father Martin in Boston and tells us more.
College Alumni Association and the Church in the 21st
Prayer, fasting, penance, and humor. Which of these belong in the spiritual life of a Catholic? Well, according to Jesuit Father James Martin, all of them do. And from the sounds of laughter coming from St. Ignatius Church on the campus of Boston College, he is right.
And so we join with the choirs of angels in their unending hymn of praise. Holy, holy, holy Lord. And I think if that's the way the choirs of angels are singing, we are in big trouble.
He also is spreading that message of joy in an interview at Catholic TV in Boston.
It's a reminder that something that Catholics, I think, tend to forget, that part of a healthy spiritual life includes humor.
He also embodies a cheerfulness when he talks to others about the Catholic faith.
Because Catholics tend to forget that ours is a joyful faith, that Christ is risen, right?
The noted author and culture editor of America magazine, Father Martin has been touring to promote his latest book, Between Heaven and Mirth, Why Joy, Humor, and Laughter are at the heart of the spiritual life. He was interviewed for several shows at Catholic TV, including This Is the Day, Clear Voice, and The Gist. He later spoke to more than 800 at Boston College.
I think we need to be, as I say in this book, more joyful. I think that a lot of people see Catholics who are grumpy and dour, and for a number of reasons. And I don't think young people are attracted to that.
Father Martin is a gifted speaker and preacher, and he can tell some really good jokes.
And the Jesuit says, "Oh, I would like to be the president of the most prestigious Jesuit university in the country." And poof, he's at BC.
He is a media presence in America magazine, but he also has written articles for the Huffington Post, the Washington Post, and the New York Times. He uses Facebook and Twitter. He is ready to go out to the mountaintops and to church basements to preach the good news. And he is willing to use electronic and social media to get the job done. So, Father, this is a television studio, but you're not a tad uncomfortable here, are you?
No, not these days. I've had, I guess, a lot of practice.
Yeah, it's Colbert Report, America, you do the videos, and Facebook. And Tell us why you think it's important to be out in the media like this.
Because that's where the people are. I always say that Jesus did not, sit around in his house waiting for people to come to him. Sometimes they did, but he went out and he spoke to them in media that they could understand.
Father Martin has been praised for his likable and easy-to-understand style. But make no mistake, he has a Jesuit education, and there is a lot of substance to his work.
I think it's really important in terms of the new evangelization to just meet people where they are. So what I've tried to do with my books is try to talk in an accessible way and in an inviting way about the faith, about Jesus, about God, about prayer.
The life of an evangelizer is one that suits Father Martin's talents and faith. He is a best-selling author and in great demand as a speaker. And it is a life that was not on his agenda when he was studying finance at the Wharton School of Business at the University of Pennsylvania. Following his graduation, he worked for General Electric for 6 years. He said he grew more dissatisfied with life in corporate America, then saw a documentary about the Trappist monk Thomas Merton, and that got him thinking about religious life and the priesthood. Then Father Martin met with some Jesuits at Fairfield University.
As soon as I met the Jesuits, it just clicked, and I felt very much at home, and I entered in 1988, and best decision I ever made. I love being a Jesuit primarily because it's the way that I can experience God.
He adds that he loves his Jesuit brothers, the work they do, and the Jesuit spirituality begun by St. Ignatius. Father Martin will talk about Ignatian spirituality and the easiest prayer ever as one of his 2 talks at the Women's Conference.
Everyone thinks they don't pray right. They think that when they close their eyes, something's not happening that's happening in somebody else.
He also will talk about joy in the spiritual life, a topic based on his latest book. Father Martin is aware that he is coming to an area that has been hit with a lot of difficulties. However, his message will still be joy.
And that doesn't mean you have to, jump up and down and be happy when a tornado, hits your town, or a flood, or a snowstorm, But it does mean that eventually, by living lives that are grounded in God, we are brought to joy.
Although Father Martin is realistic about the many problems confronting the church and the world, he says he is hopeful and joy-filled.
What gives me hope in the church? The resurrection, frankly. That's the basis of my spirituality, in that, no matter how dark things can seem, in terms of the church or in terms of our lives, there's always that hope of new life. That Christ shows us that there's always something new around the corner.
Father James Martin brings an entertaining style to his work. He's even written a book entitled Between Heaven and Mirth. But he is very serious about wanting to spread the faith. Father Martin walks the walk and talks the talk about joy in the spiritual life. He is sure to bring smiles and inspiration to the Diocese of Springfield. For Real to Real, I'm Peggy Weber.